Hey YouTube, I thought today I would do the graveyard tag started by Bunny, a.k.a. Graveyard Girl. If you haven't seen any of her videos, I highly recommend her. I think she's really funny. I'll put a link in the description box and you can go to her from there. For the paranormal tag, there's 13 questions. I've written them all down here because I am sad and I didn't think to put them on the computer screen and make it easy for myself. So, yes. Here are the 13 questions, and I will give you my 13 answers. Question 1. How old were you when you had your first paranormal experience? Well, to be honest, I'm not quite sure. I know I was very young, but there's been so many different things happen that I can't really tell you what what age I was when I had my first experience. So unfortunately, I'll have to guess that one. And maybe around the age of 8, 9. All I can give you, sorry. Question 2. Have you always believed in ghosts? Yes, I have. From a very early age, as far as I can remember. They've always interested me. I've always believed they're there. Like I said, there's been too many strange things happen for me to not believe in them. So there you go. Question 3. Where is your favourite place to investigate? I haven't actually been on many investigations. I've been on one or two so far, and that was with a friend. That was pretty much a house that we believe was haunted. There are many places I'd like to investigate, of course, but I see there's a question on the list here that'll ask me about that later, so I'll fill you in then. What is your favourite investigating tool to use? Well, even though I've only been to the one or two investigations so far, I would have to say the camera would be my favourite investigation tool. I know that sounds boring, but video cameras especially can pick up little sounds you might not hear at the time, or they might pick up orbs. During the last investigation I was on, I was given the honour of using the camera, and I saw what I could only describe as orbs going around the floor. It wasn't dust. The movements were very, very. It was like they were kind of controlled. So it's all I can. I'm messing this up. Yeah, so a camera pretty much would be my favourite investigation tool for obvious reasons. It'll pick up things that you might not notice at the time, or pretty much pick up sounds, little images, and give you a bit of a surprise later when you're looking back at the footage. Question 5. What is your scariest paranormal experience? Oh, okay, well this one, I can honestly say I'm not sure if it was a nightmare or not, but about 2 years ago when I was living in my flat, I woke up one morning just absolutely terrified. It felt like somebody was pressing my face down into the pillow, like really, really hard. They weren't being gentle anyway. And in the most horrific of voice, they said, "Get out." I lay petrified for about 10 minutes before I worked up the courage to get up, or to look up pretty much. It must have been about 8 in the morning. So either I just woken up from a very nasty dream, or it was something. I hope it was a nightmare, because that would make me feel much better. That wasn't a very nice experience, by the way. Question 6. What is your favourite experience? Okay, well this one's a bit corny, I think you might find, but the evening, like my nan, my grandmother, she had passed away in the early hours of the morning, and of course, when somebody dies that you love very much, it's not very nice. But but that night, as I was laying trying to get to sleep, I remember thinking how much I would like to see her again. And I kid you not, I distinctly heard her cough. My nan had a very, very, very distinct cough. It used to scare the crap out of me. She'd always seem to do it when you were about to drink a scalding hot drink, and you pretty much have to stop yourself from spilling your tea in the fright you'd get from her sneezing. But that night, anyway, just as I was dozing off, I heard her sneeze, and I can remember thinking, "Not while I'm awake, Nan, please, you'll scare me." But yeah, It was definitely her cough. Whether it was my imagination or not, I have no idea. But it was definitely her cough I heard that night. And I like that one, that experience, because I feel it was my nan just popping in to say, I'm okay, you're okay. So that's a nice one. Question 7. Do you know anyone else personally who has paranormal experiences? I know quite a few people actually that have had some kind of experience. Some have more than others. Some of them have maybe had one or two their entire lives, and that's it. But yeah, I pretty much know quite a few people that have had paranormal experiences. My dad is one of them. Um, my mum has had before as well, but she reckons she's blocked it out because it's quite scary, you know. So she hasn't had any experiences since. But pretty much there's family members and friends, so I'm not alone. Do you have trouble convincing friends and family about your paranormal experiences? Not really. I have one or two friends, or had one or two friends that were quite skeptic, or skeptical. I hope I'm using the right word. Um, they always slapped down any boobs I had, and they put it down to my imagination, which is very vivid. I can assure you. I do have an amazing imagination, but I know what I can see and hear, and nobody can. I have no idea what I'm saying. But yes, I do have some trouble with some people, but everybody else, they just take me as I am, and they can, they accept it. Favorite paranormal TV show or movie? This is probably mentioned a lot, but I love Supernatural, starring Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles. I hope I pronounced their names properly. Before you say anything, it does involve ghosts as well as demons and monsters. So, pretty much movies. I like too many movies to even think about which ones are paranormal. But yes, I do like a lot of paranormal films as well. I don't like Paranormal Activity though. I don't know how to explain it. I just didn't like it. It wasn't scary or anything, except for when those pans dropped down from the ceiling. That was terrifying. Oh, but yeah, Supernatural. What would be your dream place to investigate? Oh god, there's so many. Um, I'd love to go and investigate the Tower of London. Look, that's amongst other places, but the Tower of London's definitely the top of my list. I mean, the amount of things that went on there throughout history, uh, it'd be absolutely amazing and terrifying, I'd imagine. But I'm hoping to go to London maybe this year or next year. And if there are any tours on of that kind, I'd love to go. So if you know about anything like that, just please let me know. The Tower of London would be absolutely amazing to investigate, just for the things that happened in the past, really. If anywhere is going to be haunted, it'll be the Tower of London. Have I said the Tower of London enough? I'll say it one more time. The Tower of London. Do you prefer to investigate alone or in a group? This is a hard question. With my imagination, it'd be hard for me to investigate on my own because my imagination would run away with me and I would get scared if I heard the slightest thing. But part of me would think investigating on your own would be better because you're more likely to see something or hear something. And you're not going to have people going, oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that? And you're not going to be part of a sort of mass. Oh, is mass hysteria the right phrase? I don't know. Usually when you get a big group of people together and they get spooked, people suddenly hear and see things that they don't really hear and see. But on the other hand, working in a group would be very good as well because you wouldn't be alone. And being in the dark and being lonely is a lot worse than being in a big group in the dark, if that makes any sense. I don't know. So definitely a group, but I might work up the courage later to go off on my own. Depends. Is your home haunted? No. I mean, I've had one or two experiences here, but no, I don't feel at all that this house is in any way haunted. It's an old house. It's not as old as some in this town. I mean, this one's only from maybe the 60s, 70s. But no. Usually, if I go into a place, I can tell if I like it or not just by looking at it or just by stepping foot in the doorway. But this house gives me no bad vibes whatsoever. Um, Even if there was good ghosts here, we'd know. No, there's nothing here. And the final question. Have you ever had any paranormal experiences with animals? Now, I'm not quite sure what this one means. Does it mean while there's been animals there, or have I ever seen a ghost animal? So I'll answer the one I think it is, and that would be, have I seen any ghost animals? Yes, I have actually, in this very house. It was just a visitation, I think. Because like I said in the previous question, this house isn't haunted at all. But I had a white cat when we moved here, 18 years ago now, called Duchess. And it must have been over 10 years ago now that she just vanished one day. She just went away. She was very poorly, I think. It's horrible to think, but I'm pretty sure she went away to die. I've heard that cats do that sometimes. But about a year after, no, not a year, about 5 months after she'd gone missing, I was standing in my living room and I saw the rear end and tail of a white cat disappear around the door. And I knew she was gone then. We searched high and low for her but couldn't find her. So I think that was my cat Duchess, just dropping in one last time. It was definitely a cat's butt and a cat's tail. You know that way cats just skip out of a room. Not skip, I mean they don't skip, but just the way they disappear around a door. It was nice seeing her, I know she's okay. So yeah, that's the 13 questions for the paranormal tag. I hope I didn't bore you too much. I'm new to the blogging thing, so many more tags to come. But this was my favorite to start with. Thank you, Bunny. It was really creepy, wasn't it?